And
Honestly,
Well, you're gonna make us. He's gonna spend hundreds of dollars to come over there just to kill someone.
exactly,
Like he hasn't spent money on that before.
exactly. Like Meta's an assassin, man. We
if
always
I was
have.
a tranny, I would be allowed to murder people here.
If I were interpreting,
That's how Canada works, people.
Well, if I remember correctly, and you're in Canada, yeah, you're not gonna get prosecuted for shit under Trudeau's government.
exactly. Like just Meta's apparently Meta's gay, so there you go. That's what we tell.
That's what I have
Was
to
it-
tell my my principal to not get expelled.
Wait, was it you, Meta, who said that that according to diagnostic, like trannies can't be aggressive or something like that?
No, that was not me at all. I don't know
Okay.
who said that.
Whoever
What?
said that, I just remembered recently that there was a transgender person who assaulted Lauren Southern at that Jordan Peterson protest. So I guess that is not a correct assessment.
Trannies are
It's
very
funny because that reminds me of a scene from Silence of the Lambs when like Electra and Clarice are talking about like transsexuals were normally very passive, and that's how you know that Buffalo Bill isn't actually a transgender.
All right,
That's
so
pretty
I
stupid.
want to open up with our first topic that we'll be talking about.
All right, so
Furry.
furries actually would be a fun topic to talk about.
How do you guys feel about furries? Billy, go.
Okay, I found the Nazi furry phenomenon to be really entertaining.
Foxler,
Oh, yeah?
I love Foxler,
Wait,
man.
what? Okay.
Yeah,
We, should
basi-
tell, we need to tell Dalton about Foxler.
You don't know what Foxler is? What's wrong with you?
Okay,
It's all
Dalton.
the
I've
same
been
brain.
sick for 2 days. I might have once known about this thing, and my brain just is not fucking working, except, of course, for the self-loathing part of my brain, which has been
You
going
know,
on overdrive.
wait.
Furries are... There's something else, you know?
So
Yeah.
I once bullied a furry.
you once dated a furry?
Bullied. I horrifically bullied him.
I'm so like every day.
You're just awful.
Every
small
day,
kinds
You
of
know,
people.
I gotta say this. Every day, I am proud of Meta. Like, he never ceases to amaze me. That dude, good for you, Meta. Make
Yeah.
sure they know fear. That's what you should be doing.
Where's
There
okay?
you
We need to get Jack up in here.
Jack would be...
Oh God.
go. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like. I linked. I have to get. Jack can only do it on weekends. Apparently, he's like. I linked him and everybody to the chat. Although the thing about Jack is that I don't want my fucking. I don't want my fucking channel to get hit by something. So
Wait. Okay, if Andy Wartsky doesn't get hit for his blood sports, then I think he'll be fine.
all right, maybe.
The Warskis are not a good example for literally anything ever since the Bloodsport thing started, though.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But we're talking about offensive stuff though.
Wait. This is interesting. Actually, Dalton doesn't like the. You don't care for the blood sports, right, Dalton?
No, I do not. I find it cheap and theatrical and shit.
This might
But
be.
you also happen to like the Thunderdome fighting
Yeah.
routine.
Well,
We don't be willfully disingenuous for money. So there's that.
Wait, what's the willfully disingenuous? It seems like it's a bunch of radicals arguing with each other and flinging insults.
Ooh.
Yes, and every single motherfucker on there is like willfully disingenuous for money.
Wait, wait. The whole purpose of Internet Blood Sports was just to see a shit show. It's essentially like Jerry Springer, but on YouTube live streaming, basically.
Yes, with all the worst people imaginable.
Yeah, but that was, it's a way of basically seeing all these crazy people, give out their insane ideas. That's a good thing.
And yet, people like Medicare are considered the sane one. I do not like Mr. Medicare.
I thought we were talking about furries. What got us to Andy?
Okay,
Warhol?
yeah, we never got into my opinion.
Okay, this should be the
wait.
topic of the next Blood Sports, furries. They should bring furries on.
This is actually pretty fucking good. I kind of enjoyed this actually. Why don't you care for Medicare anyway, Dalton? I'm curious.
Because the internet nihilism and cringe threshold bullshit he does. Like, anytime a YouTuber tries to do something legitimate IRL or branch out into IRL, he gives them shit because nothing on the internet can matter because it's the internet. Circular logic, flush brain down hole. And yet he'll chastise people for being autistic and spurgy and detail oriented. But if you actually look at the research he puts into the shit he makes, he is highly spurgy and detail oriented. So I think he's a self-hating spurg and a disingenuous internet nihilist. And
Wait, how do you know? But you're kind of basically describing a shitlord, basically. How you know he's just not a massive shitlord who doesn't care? Once the bathroom feels like
it's the not caring that bugs me. Shitlording is fine if you actually care about shit. He has this quasi-ethos-based delusion about because something is from the internet or centers on the internet, that means it automatically doesn't matter.
I hear etho, and I think of ethno, like ethnostate, and
ethos,
I feel like,
as in the Greek word for authority.
I get a feeling like a lot of
category of logic.
All right, Billy's trying to. Billy, so what did you want to say?
Oh, I was just saying, I get this feeling like a lot of people will tell you that you take the internet too seriously, Dalton.
Oh damn!
Oh wow!
Yes, and those people can fuck right off because whenever someone accuses me of being too serious, I just flip it around on them and go, well, maybe you're not being serious enough.
Well,
doing that kind of inception. There you go.
We still like. I hear etho.
If the only arguments we're allowed to have are arguments from arbitrary external authority of standard of morality or whatever, then I can just as easy, I can play that game too.
All right.
I just find it easier to operate without the variable of external authority bullshit, whatever. As a factor at all. I prefer to focus on logos and pathos and completely discount ethos whenever possible.
All right. So,
did you understand a word what he just said? Just then, I'm kind of curious if you did.
Like I'm saying, ethos and like.
I'm kind of curious if I did, not the other white dude in here, but just if I did. Yes, I understood what he said, Billy.
Okay.
I love.
I'm sorry. I don't have the patience to exposit appropriately right now because
Billy is just delightfully racist.
Well, I did not bring any race into it.
Nigga, you asked me
back
and
to
only
the original topic, which was
nigga, you asked me and only me, you fucking simpleton. God damn.
Well,
anyway,
you don't sound that.
Anyway, if Jack's ethno-state ever comes true, at least I know that my son Meta will be safe. Because he's as white as the fucking snow. Although he looks like Elliot Rodgers.
Wait, he's your son?
Yeah, Meta, yeah, he's legit my son. Yes.
Okay. But you say, he looks like...
He gets an ethno-state, period.
So by saying he looks like Elliot Rodgers, you're saying that he's like part of the incel rebellion?
Yes.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he's saying.
You know, when you look at all these feminist cringe videos, I mean, maybe the incel rebellion might have a point, though.
I got into politics because of those feminist cringe videos. You know, I got a soft spot for them.
Okay, that's what did it for you, not the thorough argumentation of people like Vernaculus and Sargon.
I'm curious about. I want to hear Dalton rage against the machine some more. Dalton. Tell us how you feeling about the cringe comps and shit.
It's a non-substantive point, and cringe. Okay, here's the long and the short and the probably longer than it needs to be of it. Cringe is just like any other emotion.
Yes.
If it's severed from logical causation, it does not hold any water with me. Cringe is a justifiable reaction if it is tethered to something logical. If your emotion is caused by something pragmatic or logic-based, then your emotions are a variable that can be taken into account. That's why Evo Spike is so fucking awesome.
I feel like I'm thinking Billy occupies the opposite spectrum to that particular position. I think Billy, what do your simple ass think about him anyway? What do you think?
Wait, what is the question?
Oh my god, what do you think about Dalton's feelings about blood sports and cringe and shit?
Well,
'Cause,
I had to disagree with him on his stance on the blood sports, just because I feel like people like drama, people like a shit show, and the internet is a big place, so there's room for drama and shit shows, and there's room for serious stuff. I mean, we still have the Joe Rogan podcast and the Rubin Report, which is a good way of seeing really good, honest debates. So I think there's room for both, because sometimes you just want to kick back and watch two guys or a group of people, call each other, racist, Nazis, or something really stupid.
If it occurred in a vacuum, I would agree with you. The problem is that so many of the players in those blood sports happen to be trying to make substantive changes to things, or substantive points, or substantive movements. And there's nothing worse than poisoning the well when you're trying to actually get shit done. And that's all blood sports essentially do, is poison
so what you're saying
the well.
So what you're saying is the problem. Your problem with the blood sports is the fact that the participants in it happen to be like members of like the alt-right or on the far left and stuff, who are actually doing
my
movements.
issues actually lie mostly with the hosts and how they disingenuously poke all of the wrong buttons on purpose.
honestly, I thought Billy was gonna call you a killjoy or something, like he did last time.
I'm still like,
No, I guess he's going to leave that to you, because apparently I don't let people have enough fun at my expense.
weren't we going to talk about Foxler? I was very into that topic.
You know what, like, Meta, don't have sex with
Corrupt.
men. No, don't.
Corrupt. The man wants to talk about furries. Let him have his
come on.
furries.
Sir.
All right.
Okay, go talk about your furries.
So, have you guys ever been to a furry con?
No, but I heard that Anonymous protested 1 year ago.
Let me tell you about them. They're it's very nice, very very warm.
I
You
can't
should
really hate on furries, because I occasionally look at anthropomorphic animal smut. So
Honestly, I thought you
Yeah,
were gonna say that you occasionally dress as one, which is a
No,
completely different conversation.
I'm never going to go that far.
The one thing-
into
I beat a
the
furry up.
Okay,
as it
I
were.
mean, the one thing you gotta say, the one thing you can say about furries is that unlike SJW comic book creators, at least furries know how to draw good artwork.
They do. They very
I
much
mean,
do.
yeah.
Alright.
Furries at least know how to draw.
Yeah, that's like, hey. I mean, if you're gonna jerk off to it, it might as well look pretty, right? I'm sorry for interrupting you, Dalton. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm slower than I usually am, because fucking sickness. But whatever.
Oh no, it's
Wait,
fine.
wait. Yeah, wait. You practice magic, Dalton. Can't you heal yourself?
Wait, Billy.
The
Don't you-
repercussions
wait.
in magical healing.
Wait. No,
to
Billy, don't you
oneself
talk?
would just take too much energy.
Wait. Why don't you just cast Cure Wounds or Cure Disease or something?
Shut up, Meta.
Because that's not how proper magic works. It's very scaled up for D&D. If I was to do a ritual every day for a month, that might work, but by then I would probably either feel better or would have wasted so much of my excess life energy that I would be even worse.
Okay, I don't know. That seems
Magic
like,
is at bottom, remember, the manipulation of life energy. So a sick person trying to heal themselves with magic is kind of counterproductive, unless you want to go into high ritual magic and borrow energy from an extra dimensional being. And that's a pain in the ass even when I'm at 100%, let alone when I'm fucking sick.
Okay.
All right, wait, Billy. Doesn't your girlfriend talk to like trees and shit?
Yeah, she does.
All right, tell us about that, Billy.
Wait, what?
Tell us about the chick who talks to trees and shit and whatever. Tell us about that shit.
She talks to trees. What else are you talking about?
I mean, like, is that it? She's just like, why did she talk to
Context.
trees? Like,
Within context, essentially, it's kind of like apparently when she touches plants and stuff, they basically send off some, I don't know, like a mental image of how they communicate. It's not like they talk.
Semi-organic psychometry, basically.
Kind of. So according to her, it's like according to like her, it's kind of like instead of talking with words, they give like mental images or something like that. It's hard. She says it's hard to explain.
They give
how
off energy, which can then be interpreted by the brain as mental images.
Oh, this is amazing. All right,
That's how that.
All right,
So she's
Dalton's
basically a semi-instinctual druid, is what you're saying?
I guess so, because she can also talk with birds as well, apparently, and it's kind of similar to that.
Wow.
I have immensely enjoyed this conversation.
This is something else. We're 15 minutes in. Wow.
Yeah, I think we have to do I might have to do the fact that she wasn't baptized. I mean, I've been baptized, so I can't do that shit.
That wouldn't discourage anything. According to the Arthurian lore, Merlin was baptized, and all it did was essentially keep his magic pure.
Okay, so she's a pure druid. Here you go. See, Billy, you have like a super special druid girlfriend.
Well, she is actually, funny enough, she is Irish. Her dad is green Irish, her mom's orange Irish, so I guess so.
She's also Jewish,
that makes all of the sense now.
Yeah.
All right, nice. That means like, look at that. Like Dalton met like if she wants to
like refine her skills and harness them, I can recommend books.
Yeah, I don't think she's really interested in reading books and stuff. She just does it, like, I guess on spare time or something like that when she's like walking to work.
Just ask her if she'd be interested in refining her natural gift. And if she is, I will recommend books.
Okay.
This is I'm quite impressed.
What kind of music are you guys into? You guys like metal, rock? Come on.
I watch a lot of anime soundtracks recently. I listen to a lot of anime soundtracks.
Jazz, classical.
Who doesn't want to have something in common with King Belly, right? There you go.
Well, who doesn't watch anime sound? Who doesn't listen to anime soundtracks?
Rock.
I recently got into System of a Down. I think.
Oh wow! Welcome to how many years ago was that?
I'm an absolute geek when it comes to Broadway soundtracks.
Oh, Broadway.
Yeah, I listen to a couple of Broadway. I mean, I listen to a few songs from Broadway soundtracks. I mean, I'm kind of like a theme song person, so my musical taste is kind of random and not really specific. But I do like the Beatles. Like the Beatles are definitely my favorite band.
Oh yeah.
So what type of non-anime openings do you like there, Billy? Like any you said you like themes and shit, right? Like the themes of shows, I guess.
Okay, yeah, like some of the theme songs to 80s cartoons are pretty cool, you know, and like I like the Thor soundtrack, that was pretty cool for the movie, and then like Disney soundtracks are pretty awesome too. So yeah.
Have you heard the opening theme for Code Lyoko? Because it's fucking amazing if you haven't.
I haven't watched Code Lyoko in years, so I don't remember the theme.
The theme is just amazing. So if you're into like show themes and movie themes, I recommend Code Lyoko.
Okay. Yeah, because recently I'm trying to listen to like a lot of the John Williams' soundtracks that he did for all those great movies, so it's pretty cool.
So what else? All right, let's see. Going back to actually, I am kind of curious about something. Going back to furries, right quick. So, have either of you ever been interested in dating a furry?
What?
Well,
we're waiting. No. It just.
I mean, hey, you know.
The very idea of it kind of perturbs me. Just like, no, like.
Well, my fiance's a light furry.
What?
Oh, so yeah.
Not a heavy furry, but like light, I guess.
Okay, wait. So does she want you to dress up as like Tony the Tiger?
She doesn't want me to dress up. She just likes wearing cat ears.
All right. So you weren't dressing up like Tony the Tiger, right?
No.
Why?
Why?
I would not do that.
Like, why?
What do you mean? I love Meta. He's just like, why? Why not?
I mean,
okay, why not you, Meta?
Well, I'm not really dating a furry. So,
Are you? Wait, oh yeah, you're dating. What's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, who posted a picture of herself on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
If
person.
if someone I dated was a furry, it would basically be a non-issue if I liked that person enough.
It's like,
Yeah.
would you dress up as Tony the Tiger? That's what inquiring minds want.
No, if they started requiring me to get all mascotted up, essentially, no, the person would have to be very, very perfect in all other ways to justify that.
Well, I mean, they're a furry. I don't think they could be perfect. I think
They're furry.
Except
Wait, why-
perfect.
What's up, King? What's up, King? What's up, Billy?
Why Tony the Tiger though?
That's honestly the only thing I can really think of whenever I think of fucking furries. It's just fucking Tony the Tiger.
Okay,
Tony the Tiger is my god.
Are we all in consensus that like Sonic does not count as a furry?
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I imagine it depends, right? Like,
Okay,
those snakes. Some people don't think reptiles and shit count as fucking furries or whatever.
Well, there was like
there's a separate term for that. It's called scaly.
okay, there was like because there was a little bit of a feud about like that discussion where people thought like the Sonic fan base should not be associated with furries because it got too like out there and insane.
Oh, I see. Oh, wait. Actually, speaking of meta, I think you wanted to talk about comic books here, right?
Yeah, that's another topic, but I think we could wait a little bit before we get there.
All right.
I really want to hear about this this furry thing. It's very interesting for me.
You only recently discovered furries, Meta?
No, I've known of furries for a while, but like
Okay.
Enough to bully someone.
enough to bully them. Like I said, Meta, I am so proud of
weren't furries like one of the first big online fan art fandom that was like when the internet was in its early stages?
Yeah, they used to call it Fursecution or some shit too. That was hilarious.
Persecution. Yeah, because I remember originally furries were basically meant to be something very sexual, but as the years went by, they kind of changed to basically, drawing anthropomorphic animals counts as a furry.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like they turned into this some weird sort of like cult on and created a bunch of like little websites or whatever.
Yeah, and then they had a split off group which was called Anthros because like Anthros are kind of more realistically drawn anthropomorphic characters, whereas furries tend to be more cartoonish in their art style.
All right, this here is killing the fucking viewership. So let's fucking go to comic books.
wait, furries are killing the viewership.
Well, I don't know why though. Because furries are amazing. I love furries.
Like 3 people have fucking dropped because you wanted to talk about furries. God damn you!
Wait, do you know a furry website? Let's just post a link there and stuff.
Oh god.
Well, it's interesting. It was very interesting. I'm really enjoying this.
Meta, are you masturbating to furries?
Look, let's not get into specifics and let's get back to the comics, okay?
I think he's just having a cringe high like you do when you read Savage Dragon.
I do have a cringe high. You know what? I can't hate you for that, Meta. If you are having a cringe high, then have your cringe high.
So, for comics, you guys getting into new this week? You guys,
not this week yet.
No, I mean last week. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow.
Okay, last week I got the issue 4, I think, of the Terrifics.
Oh, how was it?
I thought it was really good. I like the Terrifics.
Everybody, don't forget, spam move the needle.
Spam inject the needle.
Yeah, you gotta move the needle, share the needle.
Hashtag wash the needle.
Inject the needle. Make sure you wash the needle make sure you wash the needle before you inject it.
Yeah.
Watch the needle. Watch the needle is a movement we should start when we start like needing to separate ourselves from other elements of Comicsgate.
Here's a good one, Dalton. How about hashtag enchant the needle?
Become the needle.
Yeah, we.
Well, it would depend on what the needle's made out of. I'm
Okay,
assuming
Well,
the
most
needle is
needles, I mean,
a
most
standard,
needles
like
are-
stainless steel syringe, in which case
Yeah.
it's bollocks to
Uh,
implant.
actually, I am interested in more of the spell stuff you were talking about. So, what do these rituals entail anyway, Dalton? Like,
Okay, so like several months of meditating and fasting, and then lesser invoking ritual of the pentagram, possibly Kundalini related shit, sigil drawing for the specific entity in question, and specific modifications for entities that are outside of the standard hermetic paradigm.
Huh. That's interesting.
I
So,
love
like,
that reaction. Ah,
with your magic, have you ever tried like flying? Can you do that? Is that possible?
No, typically that is just astral projection, and I suck at astral projection because I hate leaving my physical form. It's just a
Oh, yeah?
pain in the ass, and I can't draw my mind back to it.
all right. So, what are the? So that's Billy. You have any questions in regards to like rituals and some of the shit that Dalton's talking about? Since he knows about some of the stuff your girlfriend does, apparently.
Nah, I don't got any questions. I watch enough movies to know all that stuff.
Oh, interesting. So like Dalton, have you ever like okay, so you don't use the astral projection, but like do you use your magic to like cast curses on people often?
It's
Like
not worth it.
no?
It takes too much energy to cast an effective curse, and there's also this thing called the Rule of Three, which is essentially any energy you send out gets returned to you threefold because you're messing with forces within the universe.
See, I
So-
hear the
So-
rule of
so
three and
the
I think of
witches
the
are-
rule of two,
so-
and suddenly I want to read Darth Plagueis. Like-
so,
Yeah, but it's not worth it. For one thing, it takes far too
So-
much fucking energy, and for another thing, it's likely that it could come back on you. And
so you're saying the witches are right. The Wiccans are right then.
on almost nothing, but the rule of three.
Yeah,
is
but you
kind
gotta
of
give them one. You gotta give them one thing, right?
All right, tell me about the Wiccan. What the Wiccans say, King Billy?
Oh, it's just he mentioned in the Rule of Three, which is a thing that witches mention a lot in their teachings.
It's also a thing in Celtic, Norse, Anglo-Saxon. It's less rigid in other cultures, but it's also still there.
Yeah.
The new.
I'm in here about
okay. New
Interesting.
Age pagans and Wiccans are essentially trying to power a city with static cling.
Oh yeah?
Proper occultism is more analogous to a Tesla coil.
So, all right.
It's not that their magic doesn't exist. It's that their magic is so staggeringly inefficient that calling up enough power to actually get anything done is a massive pain in the ass.
So you mean to tell me, Dalton, that New Age wasn't just about selling books to people who are very gullible?
Or selling people to people. That's also a thing.
Yeah, but book sales were the main thing for New Age.
Oh,
Like you'd write a book about some spiritual movement, and a bunch of people buy and believe it.
I'm thinking of the wrong New Age.
I think I'm thinking Billy doesn't have much faith in the occult there.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it's like with the
No,
Necronomicon. Like the Necronomicon was basically kind of like a New Age book scam where people thought it was legit.
Not really. It's a mixture of Solomonic magic, actual Babylonian Sumerian magic, which we have very little historical documentation of, a little bit of chaos magic, and a little bit of hermetic sigil magic.
Hey,
So when you say
Dalton,
the Necronomicon is
so
real?
it's marketable.
Dalton, the people in chat, specifically Jack, he's wondering what do you think of Y2K? How does that make you feel?
It was an irrelevant, irrational stupidity.
There's someone in the chat named Fred Durst. What
That just
the
makes it better.
Sorry. Oh shit! Fucking Limp Biscuit is in the goddamn chat. Let's see what people have said in the. Let's see what people have said up in here too.
Well, Gualdilla's here.
I love karmics. Need more karmics. Apparently, they want to talk about karmics.
Oh, Kermix. Okay.
Alright,
Man,
so-
that new Hulk book. Am I right, everyone? Ah.
You know what's interesting? Okay, so Dalton has some. Dalton has some interesting opinions about like Superman and Batman. Actually, that and
Oh.
I think Billy got into like he and Billy got into an interesting conversation about like Batman and Superman once. It was actually
Wait, when did this?
this was like I think you said you were. What is it? You said you didn't care for Batman or something. If I'm not mistaken, I forgot what it was. Something like that.
I don't like a lot of the mainstream street level heroes. No.
What? Well, why Batman in particular? I guess it's
He gets touted out as this like self-made man, and he's like the gold standard for the self-made man, and yet most magic users within the DC and Marvel universes are skill-based as well, and yet they don't get thrown into the self-made pile because people forget that magic is a skill, not a power.
Yeah,
In both
I
the
get
DC and Marvel universes for the most part.
okay. What were you trying to say, Billy?
Well, yeah, I get that stuff. It's just that for people, because he has no superpowers, that's just the allure for people for whatever reason.
Well, Fate and Constantine don't have any superpowers either, technically.
Yes, but I guess to them the magic is a superpower.
Yes, and that's stupid because it's all skill and technique based for the most part. Yes, there are some people that are naturally inclined toward it, as would be the case with any skill or paradigm, but it's a skill.
Okay, so you wouldn't
what
consider
about
a
Billy's
superpower
wife?
though.
Like, Billy, your wife, she didn't train with magic, but she could talk to plants and shit, right?
Wait, we already went over this, Veda.
But like, since she didn't train,
Oh yeah,
It's
like
still a
your
skill, it's
wife
a
has
power.
your girlfriend has superpowers, Billy. There you go. She can fucking have the grass cut itself, man. Like, come on.
And yeah, I'm looking at the chat. It says Lost World Raptor says, according to Harry Potter, it's genetic.
Oh my
It's
god.
true.
I think she's talking about magic.
I am way too out of it to go on the long diatribe that needs to one day be shat on with the
All right.
Harry Potter
Oh, so
method.
we got Switch
Harry
Point up
Potter.
here and Gwalt. Yo, what's up, Gwalt? What's good, nigga? I don't see you much at all. What else we got up in here? According to Harry Potter, it's
Yes,
that.
and fuck
Well,
that mythos. Fuck that mythos entirely.
Yeah, Gualtilo says magic is what I do in the bedroom, and it is a skill.
Nah, it's a power.
Well, sex magic is a thing.
It's a power.
So good luck
Oh,
with
you
that.
gotta tell us about some sex magic, Dalton. Yeah, tell us about sex magic.
Okay, so
You gotta tell us.
like I was saying, magic is at bottom almost universally the manipulation of life energy. Sex
Yeah.
magic is a variety of magic that specifically focuses on the subcategory of life energy we call eros, or sexual energy.
Oh no.
It's basically learning how to put the excess energy that everyone just wastes on fucking to good use, as opposed
Okay,
to
could
just...
you put like a sex spell on Billy there? Like, just like turn
I
him into.
don't...
Can you make him
Uh,
just
why?
ejaculate on command?
What?
Like,
I
I'm just curious.
I
Like,
can't
Billy's
even.
just kind of sitting right here now, all quiet and shit, and then all of a sudden, like hocus pocus, and like Billy's like raring to go.
That's not how that.
I
So
know. I
about
know.
the ejaculating on command, are we like? I want to see that happen.
I know that's not how it. I know that's not how it works, Dalton. I'm just being a little bit of a dick.
Yes, yes, you are.
My bad, bro. But So like Billy, you got some interest like Dalton here has like this encyclopedic knowledge of like the occult and shit. You got something
Well, one does not study something for literally half of one's life without knowing things about it. So
you got some
yeah.
interesting some interesting unique things that you know that are Billy.
Just mainly that, like, I like to watch a lot of different like YouTube commentators, over the past couple of years.
That's I mean something else. Like I know you were talking about like Bigfoot and fossils and some shit one day. So
Yeah, I'm into cryptozoology. I think that's pretty
all right,
awesome.
tell us about the cryptozoology then, bro.
Okay, well, for one thing, Africa for some reason tends to have a lot of dinosaur cryptids where people say they've seen living dinosaurs.
Okay, talking about cryptids, I have to sort of give my 2 cents on cryptids now.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Go ahead. That's more
my
conversation.
my 2 cents on the majority of cryptids are that they are nature spirits.
Okay. That would be interesting because, like, one of my favorites is the Jersey Devil, who is basically said to have been a child that was born normal. Then he turned into a devil and has spent the past, like,
Yes,
200 years
And then
roaming
he
the
became
Jersey-
Billy after.
He became Billy.
The leads devil, I believe, is the version you're pulling from there.
Yeah, the colonial family.
But interestingly, beings like the Jersey Devil, mixed beings or chimeric beings, were well established within the local Native American lore long before Christianity even was a thing over here. So
Yes.
again, my standard line on cryptids is that they are nature spirits of some variety or other.
Yes. That could be true, but I don't know. I like the original, like the lead story about the origin of the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, the Jersey Devil's much older than colonization over here, so
It could be a different devil though.
All right,
It-
so
previous.
it's possible somewhere along the line something like that happened and the lore just got intermingled. But again, I prefer to just go with what is most heavily documented, and what is most heavily documented is that a being akin to the Jersey Devil has existed in that area for hundreds of years at least within oral tradition, long before the settlers came. So
Since you believe in contacting extra dimensional beings, Dalton, for with magic, so wouldn't you say, like, the mother asking God to make the child a devil could be possible if you contact an extra dimensional being to change a child into a
there would have to be
monster?
so much formal work put into it and technical expertise that she simply historically would not have.
Well, what if I don't know? What if this being was just being very generous or just wanting something entertaining?
and that baby is Billy, and he is the only known.
How do you guys feel about Islam? How does that make you guys feel?
How does that
Well,
make
considering that I'd be beheaded for like 47 odd different reasons before I even set foot in the Middle East. If the radical elements within Islam have their way, yeah, I'm not.
Wait,
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the Middle Eastern occult systems they have, but considering that Islamic fundamentalist fuckwits burn ancient grimoires and behead people for trying to practice it, kind of pisses me off.
Wait, can't you just convince them that you're a genie, Dalton, with your magic?
Well, oh my god!
just convince them that you're a genie and just, like, grant them 3 wishes.
You gotta do like a good Robin Williams
You
impression.
do realize that most Islamic fundamentalists essentially refer to jinn and demon by the same word, right? So convincing them I was a jinn would not help.
Well, technically, that is kind of true. I think Islam as a whole kind of referenced them as kind of, potential demons. It's just, was...
Yeah, because they're lower beings, and these idiots don't have the intellectual capability to understand that not everything that comes from below is a demon, and not everything that comes from below is evil. necessarily.
Well, even if it's a demon, I mean, I feel like in some of the definitions in Islamic culture, at least before the modern radicalization, it was like they were demons, but you could still use them or something like that. Like
Jinn
Yeah.
are naturally predisposed to
Uh,
trickery
uh,
and
uh,
negativity.
Dalton.
But they're
Okay,
also-
okay, hold on. Okay, what are you saying? Sorry, Dalton. What are you saying, Meta?
So Jack is wondering if the Islamists destroyed the Necromonicon.
different part of the world, and again, that text is basically a modern hodgepodge of various different systems dolled up with Lovecraftian mythos.
Yeah,
Interesting.
didn't
And
he
Billy,
just invent that?
Oh yeah, okay.
Billy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jack and Jeremy are wondering who put the bones in the earth.
Also, yeah,
The Earth.
bones in the earth.
It was aliens.
Aliens? Yeah, I knew
Yes,
it.
it was aliens. I have evidence to prove that.
Okay,
I know,
wait.
alright.
So,
I got
alright,
10 bucks.
Wait. This is interesting. So, you're one of those people who believe that aliens sort of laid all the foundation and for a humanity,
Yeah.
society and shit.
Definitely.
It depends on what groups of people you're talking about.
All right, like so.
Okay, like if it was Europeans and Asians, no, but everyone else, yes.
Hey, Billy, how do you feel about MGTOW?
How do I feel about MGTOW? I feel like MGTOW has some interesting points. It's just I feel like the conclusion is a little extreme for my taste.
I think we need to wait. Let's explain what MGTOW is so that people know
Men
what
going their own
MGTOW is
way.
men going their own way. It's
Yeah,
essentially like it's kind of like women's liberation, but for men. In a sense.
It's the other side of the incel coin. Incels were involuntary. MGTOWs, for whatever reason, usually something having to do with a messy divorce or relationship problems with women, actively choose to separate themselves and go their own way. Hence the name.
Yeah,
And then
it's
Adam's
more
buddy from high
celibacy.
school comes and rapes them all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're missing from this conversation. Gratuitous amounts of rape.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this thing about MGTOW was just that I get some of the talking points they have. It's just I don't know the thing about like saying just give up on women as a whole. Just to me, it's just going it's just going too far and stuff.
So, what are some? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dalton. What were we gonna say?
That's not the standard like line in MGTOW circles. Though.
Oh, I know that. Yeah,
that's the outlier in MGTOW circles. Just to make sure that we're representing this movement accurately, because Lord knows, straw men.
Well, yeah, with MGTOW's there's a lot. I mean, because MGTOW's kind of has a very has a wide range of different ideas and stuff. So it's kind of hard to pin them all down because some MGTOWs are a lot more maybe more on I don't know, like the right leaning side. Others might be a little more left leaning. It's kind of hard to describe them as a whole. All I just know is that MGTOWs tend to be very skeptical of basically marriage or traditional gender relationships between men and women.
Sorry, Corrupted, you could go.
No, I was just gonna say. So, what are the positions that you think they have that are reasonable? You would say, in your opinion, Billy?
My opinion of the positions they have that are reasonable is I do agree. I definitely agree with their positions that affirmative action and the fact that there are differences between men and women, that can be definitely backed up by some scientific studies is definitely pretty. I think it's something I can agree with.
Billy, do you live in Detroit? Because I don't know.
No, I live next to a hospital.
I thought Billy.
I thought the cops were coming for you.
Yeah.
Seeing as you're black now,
No, I live in Seattle. No, everyone hates the cops in the city for some reason.
I always assumed San Francisco would be hell for you. Billy?
Seattle's a pretty big shithole too, so it's.
At least it's not Portland.
I'm actually moving to Portland soon, so yeah.
Oh, good God. And suddenly we'll see on the news King Billy just killed 10 people.
No, I don't think. Actually, I think Portland is a little bit more light than Seattle. I mean, they have the same amount of drug and homeless problems, but I just feel like Seattle has a lot more angry SJWs. I think Portland's has a little bit less, I think.
Billy, like you should just find some of those angry SJW women and just give them some of that King Billy loving and just calm them the fuck down, man.
Oh, I know. Oh, I've actually done that
Okay,
before.
so now we've regressed all the way back to the Victorian times when it was thought that
Exactly.
women's only insanity could suffer from hysteria.
But on the subject, I guess back on the subject of like MGTOW and stuff, it's just hard to like say put them all into one little category and stuff because they just have so many like ideas that are going around the movement stuff. So, but yeah, there are some things I can agree upon. I just don't agree upon with everything.
All right.
So, yeah, thank you for. Let's see.
I've really enjoyed this so far. This is very nice.
Well, I have one question for you guys then. It's like, so, I mean, what's your opinions on the black pill? Because that's become a term that's being used recently. Because you have the red pill and the blue pill, and the black pill is basically like, I've made my peace that society is going to go to hell. So
yeah, I have obtained this knowledge and I can't do anything about it. Therefore, I am despairing. That the black pill is the pill of this problem is so huge and so systemic that I just give up and despair.
And you just off yourself, really.
So, I mean, do you feel? I mean, I don't know. Do you feel like the black pill? I mean, the red pill people talk about a lot, but do you feel like the black pill, I don't know, has some truth to it, given how people have been trying to raise awareness of things, but things keep going further down the channel.
I think the black pill is part of the problem, if I'm honest. I think apathy is a massive problem, especially when you're trying to create this kind of meaningful societal change and shit.
Well, I think with the black pill, it's not really, I mean, I wouldn't call it apathy. It's just like you tried and then it looks like it's not working. So you're just giving up. It's just kind of like, you've given up on things changing because no matter how you try, it doesn't work.
I see the black pill more as an obstacle than an understandable reaction.
Also, let me say a few shout outs to some of the people in the chat section here. Hello, Switchpoint, and what is Alexis? Hello, Alexis. Let's see if anybody else has said anything here. Switchpoint says he believes in the sexy rainbow pill. Well, thank you for that. Also, Switchpoint asks, Billy, why haven't you changed your profile picture to the one I made for you?
I think it's is you referring to the Billy from Billy and Mandy?
Yes, blacked up and put.
That
perfect one.
That would be perfect for you, Billy.
There's also the Secret Wars one.
The Secret Wars one?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I might do that one.
Also, let me see.
See, on the topic of pills, I don't think you should be taking any of the pills. You should swallow the red sunglasses.
Red sunglasses?
Yeah, the red sunglasses.
You should drink.
And you gotta beat your women.
No, forget the pills. Just drink wine. I take the red wine.
All right, Jack is like MGTOW is right about everything. Thank you, Jack. That's always with the enlightening commentary.
They are right on most things. It's just
Jack has all the right opinions.
I know he does have all the right opinions. Yeah. I'm sorry for talking over you there, Mr. Dalton.
It's fine.
Well, the thing about the thing is that with MGTOW, they kind of had a little bit of a disagreement with the alt-right because I feel like I kind of agree with MGTOW when they say that the alt-right gets it wrong when they think that it has to do with, like, say, the Jews being the reason why Western civilization is falling apart.
Necessarily wrong on all of the things.
I mean, the alt-right brings up problems. It's just their solutions and sometimes the causation of the problems in Western civilization
and also
are just kind of cucky and stuff.
How they get to the conclusions is very disingenuous, emotional, and illogical.
Well, I mean, the whole mass immigration crisis. I mean, that is a thing. I mean, we can.
Well, yes, but how they get there is the issue.
Like, in what way? How do they get there?
Okay, they don't get there because they dislike SJW authoritarianism. They get there by way of The only problem is that my specific norms and my specific racial interests, in air quotes, aren't being served. That is where I part company with the alt-right.
Well, I think the big
in
mistake.
My opinion, no one should have that kind of cultural hegemony. In their opinion, the problem isn't that no one should have that kind of cultural hegemony. The problem is that they're not the ones that have it.
Well, I don't know. I think the thing about the alt-right is people expected them to basically solely focus on being anti-SJWs, but I don't think they care about the whole, I don't know, the whole SJW authoritarianism as, say, like either like, you know, the anti-PC skeptics and other people are.
The alt-right kind of broke off from the skeptosphere. The skeptosphere went one way, namely the more classically liberal, more libertarian way of no one should have this kind of cultural hegemony, and identity politics is bollocks.
I feel
because
I always thought the alt-right was basically kind of
the alt-right, and the alt-right went the other way of the problem isn't basic authoritarianism. The problem is that our specific racial interests and traditions aren't the ones being jammed.
Well, I mean, the thing about the alt-right, the one thing that I think about the alt-right that they do kind of bring up is kind of the double standard that every other race can have racial nationalism, but whites can't. I mean, I do feel like that does feel ideologically.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Racial nationalism.
I agree. I'm against racial nationalism too. I just think that if we're gonna, I'm kind of like an all or nothing type of guy, where it's like either all forms of racial nationalism is okay or none of it.
I think we all agree. I think we all agree that racial nationalism is bad in general. So we all agree on that point. I don't think.
I would go with the none route rather than
except for Jack. Jack just wants to purge anything that's not white.
But I wouldn't.
Doesn't make sense either, dude.
But But I will say this, I can't not say that, you know, people gravitate towards, you know, racial nationalism because, you know, we're kind of an in-group species.
Oh, okay, wait.
I think you'd be able to be proud of like your history.
Heritage. Well, yeah, you can be proud of that.
Hold on for 1 second, guys, because I don't want to get too heavy here with this shit. So I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. Lost World Raptor said, "What is this? Can you be a Druid nationalist? What is? You know,
Druid nationalist.
Druid nationalist.
Wait, what did they say?
Can you be a Druid nationalist?
No, Druids were part of the upper intellectual class of the Celts. You would have to be a Celtic nationalist.
They were basically a priest.
And then Druidism would naturally follow from that.
That is true.
If I am to entertain this utterly absurd notion that I think is probably a joke.
I mean, I guess what they're trying to say is, like, is there such a thing? Well, if you have a theocracy, technically, I mean, you could, I guess, maybe have something like a religious nationalist, I guess. Kind of.
Druids were part of the upper intellectual class. Yes, Jack. Yes, Jack. That's exactly what he said. Yes.
They were basically a priest
society.
class.
They were considered the intellectuals.
Also, yes, Jeremy. Yes, I'm not gonna get shot by the sirens, Jeremy. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank Jeremy for keeping the chat less retarded than it would normally be.
Wait, corrupt. Were you getting nervous about us talking about, like, you know, racial politics in the alt-right?
No, mostly no. I don't really care.
Do you need me to send the link to the to the live stream to, like, I don't know, JF or any of the
honestly, I don't really care. But, like,
okay.
This is okay. So let me kind of get straight where I kind of want the stream. I kind of want this to be like a very funny type of humorous thing too, and I don't want it to get like too heavy.
Okay, the one thing I have,
like one grateful little shit.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of my stream.
So wait. The one thing I have noticed is that when the alt-right gets into a live stream, like, the chat room turns into like a shit show, basically. Like, it's really funny. Yeah.
So the alt-right are philosophically unfounded, and
you know what
is going to turn into a shit show.
What's really fucking sad? What's really
the alt-right at least is entertaining. I like the alt-right just entertaining stuff.
Okay, so what's really fucking sad is that I'm liberal as hell, and my fucking chats for my streams are basically just one giant alt-right shit show. It is.
Okay, well, first, you're liberal as hell. That means you've only taken like a fraction of the red pill.
Yes, I don't want it. I don't want any of your pills to my mouth.
That's kind of cuckworthy, man.
Well,
I don't want you to put any of your pills to my mouth.
I'm in the like minarchist libertarian classical liberal sort of.
Okay, what exactly is minarchy again? Because I'm kind of still confused about the term. I've heard of it. But
Okay, so anarchic is no government.
That's where the penguins are, right?
That's where the that's where the penguins are, man.
No, that's where the Antifa guys are.
Minarchists are. We have to have a state.
That's
and
where Santa
an
Claus
infrastructure,
is.
but we should keep it to the barest possible minimum.
Okay, so you're basically you're kind of like a proper libertarian. Because
Well, I'm somewhere between that and a classical liberal, a la like what now gets referred to as liberalist, which I'm still not calling that because I'm giving the liberalist time to actually get their shit together. First.
I cannot use the term liberal. So I mean, I have occasionally called myself a classical liberal, but I just can't do that. That's the reason why I stick with the term center right. That's basically why I am a center right.
Oh, okay. Lost World Raptor said, if Dalton gets mad at someone over chat, can he hex them remotely even if they're anon? Yes.
You're not worth the energy, dude.
Like that's that. I read your fucking question. Like
you're simply not worth the energy, and that is my standard attitude when it comes to curses.
Can you?
If I get angry enough at you that you're justifying a curse, you're probably not worth the energy because you're probably scum at that point.
Oh, ouch!
Gonna be real with you guys. Superman could probably be Doctor
I
Strange in a
wouldn't
fight.
even curse you.
Basically, say wait, who asked this question? Correct.
Oh, that was Lost World Raptor.
Okay, so basically, Lost World Raptor, what he's saying is that if you're doing that, you're a lowly pleb compared to a god and stuff.
No, what I'm saying is hashtag I wouldn't even curse you.
You know,
I
I'm
wouldn't
so
even
glad
curse
someone had the balls to give Minions their own movie.
Oh man, I don't. I don't get the popularity of that series. I just
I
don't know why. No, it's like Kung Fu Panda. Great series, that's great.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and
kept getting better as well.
Yeah, and then like Megamind, great film too.
Yes.
Alright. I think the Minions just killed the conversation. God damn.
Minions? Okay. I mean, also How to Train Your Dragon was great.
You know what we should do? We should have Jeremy on, and we could get Jeremy to talk about Minions for an hour straight.
Alright, yeah, because
No.
Right?
I think Jeremy would be great. I don't know what you're on about.
Talk about Minions.
Billy. Yeah, Minions. I love Minions.
Do you mean like Minions as in, I don't know, like the Minions in like a fantasy
As in
novel?
Despicable Me.
No.
Yeah, banana. Hell yeah.
No, let's talk about Little Me's then, or Mini Me's.
No, we're gonna be talking about Minions now.
Minions.
I love that.
I prefer Mini Me's.
Mini me. Okay, this is become really weird. Dalton, do you want to talk about something?
I prefer the on the topic of diminutive little annoying creatures. I prefer the minions or the fiends from the show Making Fiends. If anyone remembers that show.
Nah, I don't remember that show.
Okay, would Dalton Switchpoint asks, would Dalton fuck a Fuda and why or why not?
Well,
Okay.
Would Billy
What's a
fuck
Fuda? What's a Fuda?
Get Tim on? No, we can't. Well, actually, I probably could ask Tim if he wanted to get on. Get Tim from Tim's Tank Anime on. You know what? We probably could do.
Wait, Tim's Tank Anime?
Yeah, okay, so there's this guy named Tim who's making...
Yeah, I know who that guy is. So, but okay. If he comes on, we have to get Nurkish or someone from like the Discord who was roasting him. He was getting roasted a lot.
Oh god, Nurkish, why?
Oh yeah, Dalton here isn't a fan of Nurkish.
Nurkish is pretty fun.
All right, actually, this might be an interesting like exchange of ideas. Why don't you care for Nurkish there, Dalton? Because Billy isn't aware of that actually.
Okay, so he's just so like I don't even I'm running out of words to give my.
I know, like you
Okay.
didn't care for his humor.
Okay.
If-
Yeah, his humor is just so simplistic and basic and like has no actual substance. It's just let me pull out this quality and act as though that quality in and of itself is deprecating enough to be the basis of a joke.
Okay.
And also his voice sounds like a sheep getting raped by a can opener.
All
right.
Okay,
So,
that
like-
just took off.
So,
And the
I
idea
think
of
that
a
is-
sheep getting raped by a can opener was finally met its limits.
Okay, well,
okay, Meta's returned. Like,
okay.
all right. So basically, from what I'm understanding, Dalton, it's your issue is kind of like if somebody's fat, Nurkish will just say, "Ha ha, that person is fat."
Well, it's not just that. I think a lot of the things for which he insults other people are things that apply to himself, and I hate the disingenuous. I am guilty of this thing. Now let me compensate by
But I don't
yelling
know-
about how awful this thing is.
Wait, how you know he knows that and he doesn't care? I mean, it just seems like he may not just like hate himself. It just seems like he just he knows that's part of his, like,
I am obsessive when it comes to logical consistency. So like
consistency.
when
Okay.
when someone makes essentially a personality out of being like just willfully inconsistent, it pisses me off.
So would it be a fair assessment, Dalton, to say that you are not a big fan of like massive shitlords? Because most massive shitlords kind of tend to, have the whole, wacky humor, taking shots at people, and yeah.
If you're shitlording for a reason, for example, I consider myself a Kekistani. But if you're just willful, if you're trolling it and your shitlording is consistent in its target and style, then fine. If your trolling essentially boils down to let me say one thing one day and then the exact opposite of that thing the other day, and both of these things can simultaneously be true and funny.
So
No, fuck you.
So do you like Encyclopedia Dramatica?
What?
Do you
Do you
like
like-
Encyclopedia Dramatica?
I'm not familiar enough with them to have an opinion.
I think this is what we should do.
They're basically imagine Wikipedia that's basically all about flaming everything. Like they literally make fun of everyone and everything. Like there's like no group that they won't take shots at.
I think
Like
what we
in
need
very
to do
inflammatory ways.
next time we stream, we could get Nurkish on and have Dalton on, and we could have them hash this out.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
have
read
anything
each other.
personal against Narkish. He just annoys me. And
Actually, I'm kind of interested in how you feel about that, Billy. Like, what do you think about like Nurkish's humor? Do you think Dalton's right? Like, what do you think?
I think his humor is pretty funny. I mean, I haven't watched too many of his super chats, but the ones I have seen is pretty funny. I mean, I got roasted in one of his videos where he thought me and Adam is his name,
Yeah.
Super Adam or whatever. Yeah, like he thought we were both autistic.
Everyone thinks you're autistic, Billy.
Well, I'm not autistic.
You just act autistic, Billy.
Wait, how do I act autistic?
It's okay, Billy. We understand.
I'm not autistic.
It's okay. He also roasted me in the same video.
don't be a self-hating artist, dude.
Okay.
All right, but like, all right. So, like, would you say that Dalton's kind of right in some of his points, or he's incorrect, or like?
I feel like I haven't watched enough of Nurkish's like videos to make a correct assessment. I feel like
I think
I'd
we
have
should
to
talk
watch
about
his
Minions
videos.
again. I
Okay.
really like Minions.
Anything but
Oh,
God,
Minions.
better why?
Anything but-
Oh my god! Why do you want to talk
Anything
about fucking minions?
Look at
Okay.
my profile picture. It's for Minions.
Like,
Okay.
you
You know,
are.
so- did you
What's
Would-
up?
did you guys ever watch that movie Coco by Pixar?
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow. It's like, wow, Pixar did a movie featuring Mexican culture, and they didn't take pot shots at Donald Trump and stuff.
It actually replaced Ratatouille as my #1 Pixar movie.
Jeremy said banana.
Stop it! You really you thought Ratatouille was your #1?
Yes.
I think
Wait,
the first no.
You mean you thought it was better than Toy Story 3 and Up?
Yeah, I agree. Up in
Toy Story
3
3
are amazing.
definitely up, yes, but not by much.
Oh
Okay.
man,
I do not.
Those are fighting words.
This is going to be my controversial confession. I have never liked the Toy Story movies.
What is wrong with you?
Wait. How old are you? How old are you, Dalton?
Dalton isn't that much.
Seriously?
He's 22. Yeah.
No. But you're that young and you don't like the Toy Story films.
No, sir. I don't. Well, it's not that I dislike them. It's just that I am.
I
find them to be very meh.
Really?
And I don't get the like.
Wait.
Previously devoted emotions that people have.
So you mean to tell me you watched all 3 movies, right?
Yes.
You did not get super emotional when Andy played for his toys last time and then drove away in his car after giving one last look at them.
No, it just sort of was like, this is a thing that happened, and now I'm.
But it's symbolic of him growing up and going off to college and moving on with his life, having to leave behind his childhood.
Yes, and it was a very well told story, but I don't emotionally give a fuck.
Okay, Dalton. Dalton. How was your childhood?
My childhood was fabulous, thanks. But
I love Minions.
Are we about to descend into the you just hate childhood because your childhood was terrible at Hobbit?
What?
Nah. But that's just. I mean, that is surprising. I mean, I do enjoy Ratatouille and stuff. Like, it's definitely a very. I thought it was a really great film. It's just. I just find it interesting. Most people I come across either like Toy Story 3, Up, or like WALL-E. Those tend to be the 3 most.
What about Minions? Minions is my favorite Pixar film.
Oh my god! Fine. You want to hold on for 1 second? Fucking meta. You want to talk about goddamn Minions? Fine. Talk
Minions.
about goddamn Minions.
Why do you want to talk about Minions, meta?
My favorite part of Minions is when he yelled banana. That was the greatest part.
You mean basically
okay? And you say I'm autistic.
Okay, but back to what we were talking about with Pixar, because I think that was a more interesting conversation. In regards to where I rank the Pixar movies, obviously all 3 Cars movies are towards the bottom because they're gobshite, and dull as all get out. What was I just talking about? I wanted to get back. Oh yes, WALL-E. My issue with WALL-E is that it's one half a really great movie and one half a environmentalist hit piece that wouldn't have been out of place in the 90s. If it had just been a romance between the robots movie between WALL-E and Eve, it would be my #1. But sadly, they shoehorned all of this environmentalist bullshit into it, and I have yet to see someone actually make a decent movie about environmentalism.
Okay, wait. I feel like Dalton Wait. I feel like Dalton. Okay, go ahead.
I will say you have yet to see like anyone, as in like any filmmaker, make a good movie about environmentalism.
I have yet to see it. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying I have yet to see it.
Okay.
So did you watch Princess Mononoke? I thought that was a good one.
I don't think that the environmentalism was the main focus of that one.
It is kind of. I mean, it's environmentalism and spiritualism.
If you want to do environmentalism as one theme in a set of like 5 or 10 other themes, fine. But like when you're sitting there with the sledgehammer going, "This is environmentalism. Pay attention, derp."
Okay. All right.
That's just making it
guys, hold on for 1 second because I think Dalton needs to get this shot back in on Switchpoint. Switchpoint said something like, "What did you say, Switchpoint?"
Dalton is the same person that thinks that the MCU is amazing and playing some long game. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Yes, I do think that the MCU is playing a long game, and
I agree. Yep.
They steadily improve, albeit with some occasional hiccups. But
Thor 2!
Okay. Dear God, the Thor movies. We would be here all day if we talked about
Okay,
the Thor movies.
I actually like the first Thor movie. I thought the first Thor movie was my favorite.
The first one
I
was
find both the first and second Thor to be the worst movies in the MCU.
Oh, come on.
By a wide margin.
Okay,
And
Thor 1.
that's even taking my hatred for Clark's Law out of the equation.
Oh,
Putting
so
in my
Thor 1
hatred
was
for
okay.
Clark's Law, they are abominable shit.
Okay, hold on for a second. Go ahead, Billy.
Okay. I just feel like with Thor 1 is like one of the only Marvel films in the MCU that has a variety soundtrack. I really enjoyed the Thor soundtrack, whereas most of the other Marvel films have a very, I don't know, to me, just rock and roll, sometimes generic type of soundtrack.
Notice it was nothing substantive about the movie. It was just what was playing in the background that you liked.
Ooh.
Okay. No, also, I thought Loki's character in Thor 1 was really good.
Dalton's got some fucking fangs. Go ahead, Dalton.
Isn't magic and science one and the same?
No, they are completely separate sets of forces, and if I explain the differences in my usual
Them are fighting words.
expositing way, we will be here until doomsday. Also, I'm too sick to fucking articulate this properly.
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
But okay, I mean, yeah, I just feel like, again, I think as a whole, I think I really enjoyed the Thor film, and I like the soundtrack. I thought Loki's character in Thor 1 was really good, and I did like okay, now my brain just went blank and stuff. Crap.
Magic is science. Okay, Jack said magic is science. The space alien says magic is science.
No, and no. They're from completely different sets of philosophical
principles, admit it.
Let alone different sets of forces within the universe.
Admit it, Dalton. That line from Thor is why you hate Thor 1 the most.
No, I don't hate Thor 1 the most. I hate Thor 2
Oh my god!
on the grounds that it took everything that Thor 1 did wrong and doubled down on it. And Thor himself actually saying that makes a certain degree of sense because he's the bro god and doesn't understand anything about science or magic. So he would, from an outsider perspective, be prone to conflating them. But the problem is, until Doctor Strange, the rest of the universe ran with that, and no one ever corrected Thor. Until Doctor Strange, and then, they fixed it, and I'm fine with
it.
Okay,
wait. Elijah the Oromon, always happy to have you here, Elijah. He said, Corrupt tell Dalton that Doctor Strange was the worst Marvel movie. Doctor Strange is the worst Marvel movie, according to Elijah.
Let me just say, everybody,
it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. It really, really nerfed my character, and I kind of dislike it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Doctor Strange 2016 is pretty bad.
Minions is the greatest MCU film.
See, before the Doctor Strange movie came out, I already I own the animated Doctor Strange movie, which I really enjoyed. So I was kind of
is amazing and better in a lot of ways than the MCU. One of the things that pisses me off so much about the 2016 one, because Marvel is very good at putting out the best iterations of these characters that we have yet seen on film, and the fact that a low budget rinky dink, hardly loyal to the mythology 2007 animated Doctor Strange movie can do Strange's arc and character better than the 2016 one really pisses me off.
I thought the visuals were cool.
One of the turnoffs for
are so watered down though. If you keep in mind that they're taking from one of the craziest, most psychedelic source materials from the 60s.
All right, hold on. Let me get in here for a second. What did you say, Billy?
Oh, I was just about to say, it's one of the slight turnoffs for the 2016 movie was that whole they recasted the ancient one just because they were thinking that the character was a racist stereotype, which I thought was personally really stupid and dumb.
No, they did it mostly.
But at least it was a white person.
At least it was a white person. That's all that matters to Jack, isn't that right, Jack? You racist.
Wait, what did you say? Wait, what did you say, Meta?
Say that again, Meta.
I don't wanna.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, I just saying is I just thought it was just annoying that they recast the Ancient One for.
Okay, here's here's the thing with 2016 Ancient One, and this I will actually give the movie some slack for, because I'm not in the business of strawmanning a movie, so I can admit that it did good things and did bad things. Here's the thing about the Ancient One. It was an absolute Kobayashi Maru. If you casted a white dude as the Ancient One, you would get, oh, it's just ripping off Inception and also whitewashing. If you casted a black man, you would get the, oh, it's just the wise old
the
black man
magic
trope.
Yeah, magical Negro.
If you
Black magic, hell yeah!
and also if they did that, it's also ripping off the Matrix, and also fuck you, Meta, for that joke. If they casted a black woman, they would have gotten, this is ripping off the Oracle from the Matrix, and also black mystical woman trope.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
Tia
wait,
Dalma
If they had
from Pirates of
casted
the Caribbean.
any Asian ethnicity other than Tibetan, either male or female, they would have gotten the wise old Asian trope. They would have gotten the, oh, what do all Asians look alike to you? And they also would have gotten completely bollocksed by China, because China is really, really cagey about the whole Tibetan thing.
Yeah.
If they had casted a proper Tibetan, then China would not have aired the movie, and it made like $400 million of its like 677 million over there. And it only made like 200 some million here, so that movie would have bombed. And I would have wept internally for having it be that my movie was the first financial bomb of the MCU, and no one would ever let me live it down, especially because the movie is kind of shit. Literally, the only unexplored option they had was get a white actress who is so good at playing androgynous characters and so atypical looking that no one is going to know what to think.
Yeah,
so,
okay. I know the actress, and it's like, no, she's still Galadriel to me and stuff. Nah, she's the Ancient One.
Sorry. And
okay, one second. Let me, before you continue, I want to look at the chats and try to involve the chat in the conversation.
Hey, Correct. Why are you acting like England Team 2.0 and stuff, interrupting the conversation?
Because I can.
That is, I think that's bad skills right there.
Well, it's not true. Well, there you go.
It worked, so why ruin it? And also the audience matters, because we wouldn't be here without the audience. So
yeah, like, dude, like, I want to include the audience in more of what we're doing here, Billy.
Okay. I mean, if The Last Jedi can make over $1 billion despite what the audience wants, then maybe the audience won't care and stuff.
All right. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see here. No problem. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying there, Billy. But it was
just a joke. I was fooling.
So anyway, now that we've actually tarried for like a minute over going to the comments, let's actually go to the comments.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Why is my avatar whitewashing? I don't know, Jeremy. Why is it whitewashing? Let's see. God, this is just nothing but shit posting in my goddamn comments. So
it's because, well, he's talking about your avatar, Corrupt, but it's because Corrupt, you like apparently like anime, and anime has a lot of white looking characters in it.
Yeah, yes. Let me see. Have you guys?
You should have a Wakanda avatar.
Y'all don't ask anything even remotely fucking it's just shit
posting. Praise Hitler. He did nothing wrong.
Seriously, like, this is basically my comment section. I wanted to run
anime is life.
Okay,
chat,
did you love?
I am disappointed in your skills, chat.
Jack, did you love?
How dare you? You get nothing. You get fail is what you get.
One second.
You failed
did you
to
love
chat
the
properly.
Okay, one second. Did you love the drama and suspense? Did you love the threatening villain? That's what Jack said. That's the only person who asked the question. And even that was a shit post. Jesus fucking Christ.
So,
which movie are we talking about?
This is the state of my fucking comment section. You know what? Billy's fucking right. I shouldn't have fucking listened to any of you.
I am always
Billy,
right.
you know what? Billy has been vindicated. I should not have interrupted Dalton to listen to any of these fucking idiots in the goddamn chat.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, Dalton was giving us substance. You interrupted his, his speech and stuff.
All right,
This is
go
what,
ahead.
this is what
Wait,
happens
Dalton,
every time
I-
I try to get into substance, and every time I don't try to get into substance, my idiosyncrasies get mocked to hell. And even
Alright.
sometimes when I get into substance, my attempts to get in substance, because they are so consistent, become memes and then get mocked to hell.
Dalton,
No wins
can you
tonight.
use your cripple magic to like kill?
Oh Jesus!
Corrupt?
Okay. Okay, the phrase "cripple magic" just
Okay,
came up,
right.
and I need a moment to absorb the just sheer absurd stupidity of that statement. Like I can't. There are no words. You have successfully dumbfounded me, sir. My
Okay,
hat is off to you, and now I'm speaking again. So it didn't work.
where's my video on Jonesy? Only Negro survivorship. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ!
It's,
Only Negro survivorship magic. This is the state of my fucking comment section. God. Billy, you wanna take us into a different direction that isn't fucking insane and retarded?
Minions.
Okay, no, we already talked about minions, dude. Okay,
Please
think of
take
something.
us off. Well, please take us.
Okay. What do you think of what did you think of that whole like Kingdom Come bullshit with like the video game where people were thinking, oh, there's no black people in Kingdom Come and stuff. So
Oh,
it's
Jesus, that's
racism.
old as fuck.
It's old. Okay, what was the new? Oh yeah, active shooter. What do you think of that whole active shooter controversy?
Because whether you
that-
could be like the school shooter or the
I want to be a
Yeah,
school
'cause
shooter.
isn't it a training video? It was meant as a training game or something like that for like the SWAT team or something in case of a shooter, and they made an option so you could be an active shooter.
Actually, like explain to everybody what that is, Billy, because not everybody
Okay.
knew that.
From what I heard, there's apparently like a developer created a game that might have been used or as training for like the police force in case there was an active shooter, like say in a school, and then they add an option so you could actually play as a shooter as you go around shooting people. And parents of the Parkland massacre at the high school got furious, and it became like it put in newspapers and stuff, and basically Valve took it off the Steam website. So now people are like basically angry, saying that that's basically them being soccer moms and moral busybodies to like basically take away the game.
So that's actually pretty interesting. Oh, and
I mean, it's kind of like people are asking the question is if Grand Theft Auto is allowed to be made, you can go around and shoot people like men and women in Grand Theft Auto, then why like take such offense to this game?
also, Switchpoint wants to know: does your hot dog taste like mustard and bigotry, Billy? What the fuck?
Mustard bigotry. Oh yeah, that's an X-Men reference.
Yeah, the mustard
Yeah,
and
the
bigotry thing.
newly christened meme of just sheer cringe.
Mustard. Nah, my hot dog tastes like ketchup and shit posting.
Who is Walt asked me who is my best girl from Monster Quest? Queen Roper. That is who the best girl from Monster Quest is, Walt.
Yeah, Gore also said High School DxD is his shit.
Depraved little man, you. That's
So, like, are we gonna magically wound Corrupt, or what are we doing? Because I need to take some of his money. Like, I
Meta. You keep
Okay,
asking
first
him
of
the
all,
same question.
no, none of my friends are getting magically
No,
wounded by me or anyone else.
That's so nice of you, Dalton. Thank you.
And
Unlike my ungrateful little shit of a son here.
I'm just waiting for the day like some voodoo priest tries to curse one of you, and I just have to be like, no, I'm better at voodoo than you. Fuck off.
Oh yeah, voodoo. My family's from Louisiana, so we might have voodoo ties.
fucking, of course.
I think.
Are you like
somehow
the
makes all of the sense.
are you like the frog lady from that one movie, Princess and the Frog?
Nah. Not like that. I don't know how to make
That movie was
gumbo.
so good and made like no money.
No, I don't know how to make gumbo. I'm kind of
Well,
like
you're from
I'm like the guy-
Louisiana, so
Yeah, I'm like
learn.
no, I'm like the guy who I don't know, like I don't know, it's just running around in the bayou, scaring people.
So you're like the alligator.
Kind of. I mean, I don't eat people or bite people. I just,
Uh,
The alligator
so
that has
long
the
as
face
they're
of
white,
Pepe.
Billy won't eat them. There we go.
I'll give them a running start.
All right, that's
Like
fair.
I say, the alligator with the face of Pepe.
I mean, you guys
Okay.
ever watch? Well, you guys ever watch Black Dynamite, the cartoon?
Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine actually likes it.
Yeah, did you ever see the episode of Black Jaws? It's basically there's there's a great white shark and apparently there's a great black shark, and the black shark only eats black people because the great white shark only eats white people. So yeah, there's that episode.
All right. So what did hold on, what did Elijah say? You all are lacking in the YouTube video market. I want to hear more of your opinions. Okay. You want to hear more of our opinions, so
Why would you?
But we'll get seeing why would you want that? We're gonna get demonetized, so we're not gonna make any ad revenue.
Dalton is probably a little safer than Billy when it comes to that. So I mean,
Yeah, probably.
So next episode, we could probably try to get Nurkish on. What do you think?
probably not. God, you know how much of a bitch he is for everything. Bitch.
No. Okay.
Well,
How do we
yeah,
get Cecil then?
All right. So, what's up, Billy?
I'm saying, how about Cecil then? If you can't get Nurkish.
I think Cecil. I don't know. Cecil. I don't even. I imagine for some of the people, you'd have to have like a bigger kind of crowd or something. I don't know. Like.
So yeah, we're
Then
not.
again, I think Yellow Flash, was on a stream of yours, right?
Yeah, I got Devil Flash and stuff because I'm on his Discord and stuff. But yeah, but I guess you were saying with Cecil, it's like what we're not worthy.
Well, I mean, Cecil, I guess I always imagined like the bigger the YouTuber, they'd only really show up on channels that have bigger viewerships. But hey, if he'll show up on a smaller channel, that's good for me.
Yeah,
I'll try.
And now we're all going to be taken away for wrong think.
No, I think it's just because Billy's black.
Yeah, obviously.
Well,
no. The
Corrupt
police
is also black, and this
He's
never
try-
happens on his.
Like,
Well, Crap doesn't live in the U.S. He lives in Antarctica with the penguins.
okay, because
penguins.
no, this is Seattle.
How is it living? How
black
is it
people.
living next? How is it living next to a hospital anyway, Billy? That must be a pain in the ass.
Normally it's actually pretty quiet. It's just I don't know, for some reason it was just a little louder tonight.
I know I know an autistic kid who died recently because he was like
Did you
in a
kill
waiting
him?
line. Sadly, no. But he was in a you know how we have like our waiting lines, right? Because free healthcare.
Yeah.
So he was waiting and he had heart problems, and he died due to it. And yeah, if he lived in America and he was able to just pay for it, he'd still be alive.
True,
Just saying.
but I don't think you can put that at the feet of the concept of like universal healthcare. I think you have to put that at the feet of incompetent fucking Canadian bureaucracy. Again, fuck you, Trudeau.
But okay, I'm not corrupt. What's your opinion on getting into the topics of healthcare?
Say that again. I was reading.
Well, do you want us to get into the discussion about universal healthcare?
Jesus,
That's basically going into politics again.
Honestly, so to be clear about my point, I don't really. It's not that I'm so much afraid of going into politics and shit. It's just that I really want this to be kind of like a light, jokey type of conversation.
Yeah,
and politics always and politics can be kind of dry too,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, like, nothing will beat the fact that your girlfriend talks to trees and that Dalton is Harry Potter. Like, that's it.
Okay, are you attempting to insult me? Because
Yes.
that might... Those
Really?
might just be
You really
insulting.
I never really saw you as somebody who outwardly disliked Harry Potter, though.
Well,
like most of my generation, I liked it when I was a kid, but having just spent
Now that you're a wizard, you hate it.
having just spent 11 years of my life studying 20 odd different styles and systems of magic,
so
it pisses me off on every
Okay,
level
so-
that it's
okay,
possible
so-
to be pissed off on.
okay, let
and
me.
also the writing is not that great.
Okay, I found I found a really good comparison to this, Dalton. So basically, what you're saying is your view of Harry Potter is kind of like a lot of those people who hate Pocahontas, the Disney film, because it's such a, basically untrue retelling of the actual Pocahontas story.
My opinion of Harry Potter is similar to Neil deGrasse Tyson's opinion on a lot of really shit sci-fi.
Savages.
Wait.
Barely
Oh,
able
wait.
to-
That's like the only thing you agree on
That
about Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Which means we can.
All right. So basically, Dalton. Okay, so from what I understand, Dalton, you just like it from a technical standpoint. Although it's like I doubt it's going for any particular type of accuracy, though. That's why
I know, but it does kind of piss me off that like when fantasy stories and magic-based stories are told, nobody thinks to fucking just crack open a grimoire. Like, fuck's sake, people. It's a concept. It's a series of philosophies. Do a little homework for the sake of nothing more than your own, like, integrity. If you use a word, you should be at least somewhat tethered to what that word actually means.
Dalton, Jack has said that magic is not real.
Hold on, those numbers don't add up. 11 years for 20 systems of magic, so it takes about 6 months to thoroughly study a single system of magic. Seems like a fake discipline. That's
No,
what Jack said.
I'm not excessively thorough in any one system. My attitude is to get reasonably good in as many systems as I can get a hold of. And then once I'm reasonably good at all of the systems that I can find, then I will cycle back through and get better at each one.
Jack, fucking Billy, like Jack, tell everybody about your opinions on the episode.
I think it should happen sometime soon.
Yeah.
5-year time.
If I do,
Be all minion.
in yellow minions, like I can't even look at the fucking chat without seeing these two fucking minions fuck each other in the ass. Thank you, Meta. I'm trying to run something that's halfway
Wait,
not fucking stupid.
Hey, so Corrupt, why can't you give out super chats? So you didn't set it up that way or something?
Like because I only got like 9 viewers or whatever, So
Oh, wait,
like,
how do you get super chats going then?
You get like 1K subs.
yeah, I
Oh.
mean, I imagine you need like a kind of a bigger audience,
Oh, okay.
It would like
shekels.
no shekels for me, exactly. No shekels for me. I'm trying to do something though. Like
It's an attempt.
We need to get some. I don't know. We need to get like a cam girl on here who's gonna like show off her tits and stuff.
you know,
And we
what?
get those beta
the
bucks.
fake Anita Sarkeesian.
You know what?
We need to get those beta bucks and stuff.
Wait. Billy, like put on a wig, strap on a bra, and just shake.
Go to work.
Hell no. Hell to the no.
Just
Hey,
shake
Jeremy.
Jeremy has tits. He can shake them. There you go.
Yeah, get in here, Jeremy.
Wait, how about your girlfriend, Meta?
She's 15 now.
Okay. So it's the internet.
Dude, why are you trying to get us in
Let's get
jail,
some
man?
minions.
Why are you
Let's
trying
get
to get us in jail, man?
Someday Meta is gonna wind up in jail, and we're all just gonna go, "Yep,
Wait,
that makes
I
sense."
keep-
No, Meta is
Okay,
15.
I keep forgetting 15. I keep forgetting he's 15. For some reason, I keep thinking that like dude's in his 20s. It's like
Because Meta has the voice of a 30-year-old man. That's why he's 15.
No, he doesn't. It's just
I don't think it's that bad. I would
I'd say-
I feel like we're already.
put him at like 18 or 19.
Yeah, I feel like we're already gonna go to jail for like being this offensive around an underage minor and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Who
Like,
cares?
this is your idea, Corrupt, to like bring him on.
He's, I'm trying to instill good values in him.
And it
You're right,
wasn't Billy that
Good
someone had to
instill
say
good
that about this
values.
time.
You are grooming, right?
I'm trying to instill, like values and like.
Are you trying to groom him? Are you grooming him?
No, I'm not Keemstar, you fucking idiot.
And there we go, all the way back to the memes.
Hell yeah.
Like Keemstar.
Fucking Keem.
Fucking Keemstar, Jesus fucking Christ.
He might as well just be called Meme Star.
Like, that's
What's funny about Keemstar is apparently after the whole Nia Sarkeesian thing with Sargon Akkad, he actually made sense in one of his videos in this like we threw put his 2 cents about the whole controversy.
Oh wow, Keem can do that.
Yeah.
Star was able to make
Remember what he
sense. The
said?
world must be ending.
Yeah, there's a video of it. I forgot. Yeah, I think the video's still on YouTube, but it's just like I think you just have to type
Was this after the VidCon
Yeah, after she called
Inquisition against the garbage humans?
Yeah, this is basically after Nia Sarkeesian called Sargon Akkad a garbage human. It was pretty funny.
Hey,
It was
you
like
can't use that word. That's our word. Fuck you, bitch.
yeah, what's so funny is that Sargon literally just sat there and just smiled at her, and she like basically lost her shit.
Yeah, it's someone made an excellent point, and it was basically that Sargon played her at her own game, and she clearly couldn't handle her own tactics. And that's true generally of most SJWs, in my opinion, is that they can't handle their own tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true because their whole thing is power games. So
Yeah, I feel sorry for
when they start to lose the power game and thereby lose power, it triggers the ever living fuck out of them, causing them to be more and more authoritarian and more socially, culturally, there we go, dominating. And that's when they make absolute absurd tits of themselves, and that's when their ideology starts dying, and they blame everything on my buzzword.
Yeah, I felt upset about Boogie having to like talk to her about this whole issue and stuff.
Because he got chewed out by her.
Well, he got chewed out by her, and he brought up a really great point where he says, treating online harassment as like a human issue rather than a gender issue, helps warm more people up to the idea of,
yes,
of treating it like a serious thing. When you treat it just like
hashtag Boogie did nothing wrong, and Anita, you are a fucking bitch, and your moral precepts do not dictate shit, my darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I agree that one of the problems with a lot of SJW, the way a lot of SJWs frame things, is that they frame things in a very black and white way. Either you're anti this or you're anti that, instead of framing it in a way that cultures like unity and dealing with the problem as a community, instead of all of these horrible, insert group here.
Well, it's exactly what I was talking about earlier in my video with the Hegelian dialectics thing, the inevitable needing to dichotomize everything.
Yeah, like calling
Nazi. This oppressor-oppressed dynamic does what it does. We have to boil history down into its basest elements, and for whatever reason, we've decided its basest elements are conflict. Therefore, we have to describe X person as the good person, the hero of history, which is also where they get the "you're on the right side of history" fucking bullshit talking.
I mean, I will say the one thing I noticed, I think I just kind of noticed about SGO is I do generally feel like, I mean, they try to say that they mean well, but I do feel like the problems that they bring to the table, I think are not actually problems when you look at all the data and all the facts and stuff, I feel like they're making a problem out of something that isn't actually there. Kind of like how everyone thought Tide Pods, the whole Tide Pod phenomenon, was like a horrible academic when it was actually
just like media. 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it was the mainstream media that was causing the problem. I just feel like I think SJWs are basically, I think, just ignorant tools who are just ignorant to the fact that other people are using their vulnerabilities to basically to their advantage, like exploit them. I just feel like they're just people who are emotionally and mentally vulnerable who are being exploited by very manipulative people.
That's exactly it. How social justice propagates is it preys on excess empathy.
Okay.
It preys on extremely sensitive people who have an innate desire to do 2 things. Number 1, be a good person, and number 2, improve the world. And
all right.
they use those vulnerabilities to tie in together all this oppressor-oppressed dynamic, Hegelian quasi-Marxist bullshit, and then they convince them that everyone else is either ignorant of the problem by virtue of said ignorance actually exacerbating the problem, or actively a proponent of the norms that are the problem.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because we've hit like the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
And like I kind of want to get this. I kind of want to wrap this thing up here.
Oh, what are you doing, Meta?
Meta is what? What are you? Okay.
God damn. The
Okay.
just started to get
Hey.
good, though.
Yeah, hey, Corrupt, you have an ejection button. Eject Meta and stuff. He keeps obsessing over his minion
Oh
stuff.
Jesus Christ, Meta!
Eject him. Eject him.
Meta, behave. He's
Just,
like,
kick him out of the chat. Throw him out of the
It's
chat.
minions.
Okay,
I love
okay.
minions.
Throw him out of the chat.
Anyway, guys, like,
Oh
we're gonna,
my god. Meta, why? Why Meta?
Meta, stop it. We're going to wrap up here. Everybody, like, let people know who you are and what you do and where you come from, and I'll put all your links in the description.
Oh, that's a sexy one.
I'm not looking.
This is my son. There you go. All right, so Billy,
Did you
you
drop
go
him on his head?
since Dalton
Twice.
went first last time. You go first this time.
Oh, go first of what?
Tell everybody
Shill.
where you're from. Shill your channel.
I'll show my channel. Okay, I'm King Billy. You can just, type in King Billy into the YouTube search and you'll probably find me. I know there's another King Billy on there who I think does rap or something like that. I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, and then on Twitter, my Twitter account was recently permanently banned because they don't like when you say the F word, and I don't mean fuck. Yeah, I wasn't being homophobic or hating gays and stuff. I was just using the other use of I was using the word in its other form, where it's like calling someone a pussy and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, but Twitter doesn't like that, so I got banned permanently. So right now, my current Twitter account is William the Wizard. The address is @the_wizard_god, and that's where you can find me on Twitter.
All right.
I think this is a successful.
Yeah, it looks like the Twitter police are found me.
All right, Dalton.
Yo, everybody. Hell yeah.
Hey, Dalton, if you wouldn't mind.
All right. Okay. Yes.
This has been
Hi
great.
all. I'm Dalton Mortimer. I'm the Authenticator. My channel is the Authenticator. Currently, the content that I'm making for that channel is a series of audio-only rants called The Storm Before the Calm Rants. There's only one video out as yet, but part 2 should be coming as soon as I can kick this fucking on and off bug I've been having the last couple days, and re-record all the shit that I tried to make the morning I got sick, because I'm sure it was rambly and shit as all fuck. You can follow me on Twitter @theauthenticator, spelled without the U. And you can follow me just about everywhere else, including Minds and Discord @theauthenticator. Cheers, everyone.
All right, and Meta. This is
Minion.
This is Meta. God, it's like he's 4. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everybody.
Shame to your family, Corrupt. Or,
Thanks.
Meta.
I'm not. Yeah, so like I said, Corrupt. I'm not autistic. I'm just mildly immature at times.
Meta is 4, apparently. You want to you want to tell everybody? You want to say minions again, Meta, before we leave? Okay,
Meta,
I guess not.
Meta, are you related to Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber?
Well, all I have to say about that, Billy.
You're gonna say.
The only thing I could say about that
All right. Guess what? What do you want to
is let me prepare my voice for this.
say? Okay. Prepare your voice, Meta.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that, Meta.
All right. There we go. Well, Meta apparently is 6 years old. So I'll see everybody. Thank you for joining us, and I'll schedule one of these things at some later date. Anyway.
Yes, and try to do it on time.
Okay. You know what? Fuck you. All right. Anyway. Later, everybody.